Welcome, everybody. We're here for our weekly update with Aaron Chapman. Aaron, of course, with Security National Mortgage out of Mesa, Arizona. And always appreciate you, Aaron, taking the time to chat, and hope things are going good today.
Thank you, man. Thanks for making the time. I know that you got to shoehorn a window of time into every week to be able to do this for me. Because, we've been doing this for 5 years with Freedom Founders, but I have not done these kind of updates. So for you to help me do this and knock this out these last couple of months has been awesome. And it's also good to hang with you and chat with you.
Absolutely. So what's going on?
Still, same thing in the market. Market is still doing what it's been doing. We're still seeing this downward channel with the mortgage-backed securities continue to decline and erode. We went out of this channel. We're going to come right back into it. We locked up a bunch of deals right here, an enormous amount of deals right here for people that were buying houses and actually literally creating opportunity for buyers down the road to get really, really low interest rates and low points. And I'm waiting for you to get back there again because I got a shit ton of them and stacked up, ready to lock just like that again. So we got a lot of opportunity out there in the market, great opportunities out in the market. So when, there's folks out there like what Mark has talked about, give opportunities of interest rates backwards couple of years, right? So that's what we're working on effectively a lot. I'm in the air constantly. Just got back from where was I? I was in Missouri, then Utah, and then I got to go out to Birmingham. I got to hit Dallas, and I got to hit Maryland and DC and Tennessee, and then Missouri, and then I'm back home in November. So I'm here for 3 days. I get back on the road. So it's important enough to me to be on the road that much to make sure the people we do business with understand what's happening in the market and they feel confident about it going into it. I have a full understanding and realization that the Freedom Founders community right now is pausing from this. It makes, that's what I'm gathering, that when it comes to, getting into real estate or buying turnkey properties or financing real estate, that this is a thing of trepidation, if you will. I get that. So I'm here to just offer all the best data I can for as long as I can to make sure you guys have it. So when the time comes that you feel like, this might be the thing, you know who to go to, because this is all I do. It's finance, investment, real estate for investors, buying your single families, duplex, triplex, fourplex. We're doing right now multis up to 40 unit. We'll do blanket loans for a person who wants to buy a whole a block or a city if they want. I can do under one loan. Just a lot of things to help people, and it's focusing on that 30-year fix that makes you wealthy. You can go back over the last few updates. You can see all the stuff we're talking about. You have the data. You just need to come to a point where you feel like now is the time. So that's the main thing. Just letting you guys know, we're still seeing interest rates go up. We're still seeing the price of housing go up. This is a very interesting bit of data. I don't know if we talked about this last time. Case-Shiller, CoreLogic, and Black Knight says that we are in trajectory this year to see an 8.9% increase in property prices for 2023. Now, what's going on out there is pushing this because there's so much cash in the market buying houses and there's so few houses being sold. When you look at such a very, very large section of the housing being bought during those windows of 2019 to 2022, when the interest rates are so stinking low, nobody's refinancing, nobody's selling those houses. That has come off the market. Those people who did ARMs, and this is another interesting thing. I can't remember who said it. I was on CNBC where they're talking about inventories in the future. They have a high anticipation of inventories to hit in the next few years of people who did 5-year, 7-year ARMs or the short-term fixed loans with a short-term payoff period, like the 10-year fixed with a 20-year amortization. That was a popular deal, especially amongst Freedom Founders. They anticipate those to be on the market in the next few years because those are going to have a negative impact on the owner of that home because of the choice in the program that they chose. So just know the inventory is coming. And it's going to hit in that way. Be prepared in advance to be able to take advantage of that inventory. The one thing that we also know, and I've been preaching this, if you follow my YouTube channel, I've been jumping up and down screaming this for weeks, probably months, that it is, from what we understand, the BlackRocks, the State Streets, and the Vanguards of the world are presently positioned to take ownership of 60+% of the single family residence availability out there in the United States by 2030. The only way we stop that is to buy the houses ourselves. I'm currently buying 2 in Missouri. I'm paying cash on one, finance the other. I'm going to refinance and pull money out of the other one, put money back into the coffers and keep purchasing. My family trust has, we buy it as a trust. And now my kids right now, the next generation, they're having a hard time renting. Income's not keeping up with the cost of rent. So we're buying them as a trust and then leasing it back to them. And the lease to them is actually cheaper than what they're leasing it for in the to lease a 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. But it's cash flowing to the trust, and they're set at a graduated increase in that rent. So if you want to protect your legacy, protect your family, if you're sitting there and you don't have investment real estate and you have children or grandchildren, just know that if you're sitting on dry powder, hoping that something happens and you're not getting involved, you're saying, but I want to leave a legacy, you're not leaving one, because they're not going to be able to buy it and you're not going to be able to buy it soon enough. And that does happen. This is all just Aaron Chapman opinion. That does happen. You pretty much just severed that legacy. So that's some things for you to think about, to consider, and decide what you're going to do. But until you decide to do something, nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. So if you want to reach out to me, please do. If you don't, that's cool too. You do what works best for you. But when the thing settles down, just understand your choices you make today is what's going to determine you tomorrow.
No, absolutely. So let's go over to kind of wrap things up. What is the best thing that people can do right now? Because we know that when there is something that somebody wants to jump on and they haven't been pre-qualified, they're already behind the 8 ball. So what's the best thing to do?
Best thing for person to do, let's just take a quick look here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do another share screen to kind of make this simple. So if you want my opinion, and Jim and I were talking about this ahead of time, so just go to aaron.chapman.com. When that launches, slow internet, there's an apply now button. Just click on that. It's going to take you to a place where you have to create a username and password. It's going to ask you, it's your portal directly into a loan. It's going to ask you for your username and password. You don't have that. So you don't have an account. You got to create an account. Once you create that, then you do an application. And my team then at that point will reach out to you, tell you what stuff we need to get the qualifying done. You'll upload that directly to your file through the same portal. We'll get that done. Now, the reason you want that, let's say you find an awesome deal now. I mean, like in a week from now, if you're not pre-qualified, you're going to lose out unless you're going to pay cash. And if you're going to pay cash, you never, ever pay cash until we talk. And I don't care. Let's just explore. Let's say I'm no longer part of the Freedom Owners community at some point. Let's say that happens, right? And you decide that 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'm going to pay cash for this property and rehab it and pull my money back out of it. Still, I don't give a damn who the person is you're working with at that point. You better call me. Because there's a lot of lenders out there that do not understand this process. We have had to unravel a lot of messes for people where the money gets hung up for a year plus because they didn't take the steps up front. There are upfront steps before you close on that property that has to be done. I can't go into details here. It's extremely detailed. And you've had to do this on a wide scale. I've done as many as 60 of these a month. We know how to get it done. We've dealt with the agencies on it. I've had Fannie and Freddie audit me. I've been able to ask them questions how to get it done. We know how to get it done. So never pay cash on our property, intend to refinance and pull money back out until we talk, period.
Sure. No, good advice. Well, I think the main thing is get pre-qualified. Be ready to go.
100%. Be pre-qualified, have a good group to communicate with and understand what the potential risks are with what you intend to do, right? The conversation is, hey, this doesn't only have to be, I want to finance property. You want to do what to acquire, refinance, purchase, whatever that is, because there is a process for every type of way you go about it. And it has to be detailed before you start making steps. If you start taking steps and signing papers and taking ownership before those details are figured out, you could be locking your money up, period. And when it's locked up and unusable, it's useless.
Mm-hmm. One other thing too, Aaron, what about the difference between somebody that has active income versus somebody that does not have any more active income when they're trying to get pre-qualified for these things?
We've had a lot of that within the Freedom Founders community, especially when it first came in, right? People are selling their practices. Now their active income is gone. How do we go about that? We have ways to go about that. Each person's going to be different. It's impossible to detail here exactly what scenarios there are because there's so many of them. Right. You're all unique snowflakes. Each one of you needs to be looked at from a detailed, individualized perspective. I even had David reach out to me in that first few months, like, hey, this person said this said this. Well, this is why. So once I got done explaining to him, it made a lot of sense. One person gets quoted, say back then, was getting quoted at a very, very low interest rate. Another person got one in the 6s. They exploded. Wonder why? Why would they get a loan in the 6s when everybody else is seeing things in the 5s on an investment property? They had a 640 credit score. We were lucky to even get the loan done. Right. So it's a matter of perspective. You can't just give a generalized anything and make sure and it fit everybody.
Sounds good.
Especially the entrepreneur.
Absolutely. Okay. Well, listen, thanks for your time today. Appreciate it. And we'll take off from here next week.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Okay.